Hey y'all, welcome back to Devil May Cry 5 on Gaming Another Garbage. I am your host Dex, and regardless of it being episode 4, and I just finished episode 3, well, I just finished mission 3 in the series, you'll notice on the side it says mission 8. Here's the thing about that. So, whenever I was recording episodes 3 and 4, I ran into some technical difficulties, and what happened with the first time was episode 3, I explained it captured the footage, but it didn't it captured the audio, and it didn't capture the footage for the game. With mission 8, what happened was God damn it, it's 6 a.m. I need sleep. Maybe if I slept like a normal human being, I wouldn't be fumbling my words. Anyway, what happened with mission 4, there we go, was Audacity, kind of corrupted my audio, and it mixed together, my attempt at recording episode 4 with my first attempt at recording episode 3. So that audio for mission 4 is just completely useless on my end. I can't use it. So instead of, just redubbing it or something like that, I feel like that's a little cheap. So we're going to go back and we're just going to replay that mission, which this is fine. This is fine. I can handle this. And it may be 6:30, but it's not that bad because I passed out on the couch for a few hours. So I'm kind of rested, and I plan to pass out immediately after recording this. Okay, so the first time I got a score of 4,726. Let's see if I can do any better. Nero and V split up to find separate paths to the Qliphoth, the demonic tree. Nero encountered a deadly demon wielding light as a weapon. When defeated, it turned out to contain Lady. Can she shed some light on the battle with the Demon King? And what is V's true motive? I shouldn't be reading this early in the morning. But it is also okay because I have soda.
So V, you think this kid can kill Urizen?
One can only hope. But for now, we have a more pressing engagement.
Alright, so, mission 4 is the first mission that you play as V, and normally you wouldn't have access to, this whole menu, or you can customize, but it won't necessarily, give you full access to its customization. What it would do was it would give you only, the items, and which I bought the purple orb, or a few purple orbs, which what it does is it increases your devil trigger gauge, which is something you will need for a mechanic later on. And I also bought a couple blue orbs over the missions. You might see that in some of the later episodes anyway. Depends on when I bought it. So also I bought all of these abilities. Or not all of them, but the ones that I kind of need. Like Quick Play, which is basically just a speed upgrade. I need to buy Enemy Step. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Trigger Heart, which means your devil trigger gauge depletes slower. I've upgraded Griffon to the point that he has all of his base attacks, not necessarily their upgraded abilities, but he can do things now. And also Vim and Vigor. What those skills do is once Griffon is down, Vim it makes it to where he needs less time to get back up, and then Vigor just means he has more health in general. Haven't bought either of those. And then there's Shadow, which I bought all of Shadow's base skills, except for Guillotine and Skewer, and I haven't bought Vim or Vigor for him either. Now, with Nightmare abilities, you don't necessarily need those unless you have Promotion, which I don't have, so it doesn't matter. Let's go, then. After you get through the 8,000 minutes of loading screens. Alright, let's head out.
Minor errand before we reach Urizen.
Oh, genius says be careful. Yeah, no shit, Shirley. Ain't that right, V? I mean, you are fragile at the moment. Wouldn't take much to wipe you out in a sticky situation. I'm just saying that running away is okay. It's always okay to run away if you're not up for it.
He who desires but act not breeds pestilence. so it is written.
Okay, Shakespeare, just remember this. You and I like to exist, so get rid of those demons quick, cause killing them ain't my stick. I got your back, cause dying is whack.
I'm inclined to agree, dying is pretty whack.
Leave the ones around you to the big bad kid.
No escape.
Yeah, normally, in your first time playing this, it would only allow you to use Shadow. Whoops.
Pardon me.
It also wouldn't allow you to teleport closer to the enemies until it like tutorializes all of that. But because I had already played this once and it fucked up, I can just go ahead and do it. So that's fun.
Rest in peace.
Please don't get hit by that. Thank you. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna play a little bit of air violin here. I need to go kill it, but I don't wanna. Okay, let's go.
Turn into the underworld.
Nice. Also on the plus side, because I have to re-record this and it's like fucking whatever time in the morning it is now at this point, and my roommate's not home, so I don't have to necessarily be quiet this time. But oh hey, now I get my own ghost data again, which I explained in the last one. That like, oh, when it says "oh my god," that's me. So that's me. That's me from the last episode. Like actually the last episode this time, because that was my most recent recording. God, I hate those fucking bats. Also, you can tell it's me because I do the exact same combos every time, which is launch them into the air, hit them down, rush forward, like rinse and repeat. But I mean, if it works, it works. Oh yeah, I was saying that I'm not necessarily pressed for time this time, so that's good. I don't have to worry about like rushing. Although I do want a better score than I got last time. So, my rush anyway. Alright, so, I think it might be a little interesting to give a little bit of history about Shadow and Griffon. So, this Shadow and Griffon, are different from the ones from previous games, specifically Devil May Cry 1. So, if you were listening to me in part 2, I was mentioning that, you know, Dante's had to fight these things in the first game. Alongside like Michelangelo and that stuff. Well, you know, whenever it was first revealed that like, oh, V can use like this bird and this cat, and everyone was like, oh wow, that's really cool. And then like their names were released, Griffon, the bird, and Shadow, the cat, and we were like, oh, I see. Because which way am I supposed to go? I'm stupid. You can't do this to me. Oh, this way. Duh. All right.
Descend it is.
Not yet, jackass. I need to go find some stuff. But, and everyone was like, oh. Because these were enemies that were in Devil May Cry 1. Nightmare included. I'll talk more about Nightmare once we summon him, but, yeah, previously, Griffon's undergone, like, a huge design change, obviously, because it's not meant to be the exact same Griffon and the exact same Shadow and the exact same Nightmare. They're meant to be different. But the fact that they were, you know, kind of based off of those enemies in the first game, god damn it. Shit. Anyway, so Shadow originally, like, it's not necessarily it wasn't like a boss enemy, but it was like a super annoying enemy. God, I love that scene. Anyway, so what had happened was, I forgot what I was saying. I was explaining Shadow, right? Oh god, look at this is Nightmare. I love him so much because he will wreck shit. He will kill goddamn everything in the area. But oosh. Okay, Shadow in the first game, it was an enemy that was a shape-shifting shadow cat, basically. It would shapeshift into various different blades and skewers and fucking wreck your shit if you weren't careful. which I often wasn't. More violin for y'all. Shadow, I'm gonna have to ask you to save me. Okay, thanks. But so Shadow, like, it would shapeshift, and what would happen is it would try to lunge at you. Like, hold on, I can get this Shadow to do that similar attack. Like, well, that's not it. But it would just kind of like, it would shapeshift in like this huge like gaping maw, and it would try to like grab you. And if it grabbed you, it would just like sling you around and do a shit ton of damage. Like, hold on, let's see here. That right there. It was horrifying to see that thing in 2001 graphics coming at you, knowing it was about to fuck your shit up. And I was like, God, those things were the most terrifying things, and it was horrible. But whenever they got really close to death, what they would do is they would turn red, and then they would try to grab you. And if it grabbed you, it would explode with you, like, in its grasp. And it would die, but it would do a shit ton of damage to you in the process. And whenever you did enough, like, damage to its outside, it would melt down and, like, reveal its core, which isn't too unlike what Shadow's core looks like now if he gets stalemated. So I thought that was interesting. You cannot hide that money from me. But, and then there's Griffon, who in the first game was a large, lightning bird. His face was about as similarly messed up to, like, the Griffon here. Except, like, way worse. And, that Griffon was not blue, actually. It was, like, kind of tan and red. And, oh my god, its lightning fucked me up. Like, this attack that Griffon can do? That one, that was an attack from the Griffon in the first game, and God, I never really got hit by that attack so much as I got hit by Griffon's every other fucking attack. And Griffon was actually a boss battle. The Shadows weren't. They could just kind of show up, and then you would, you know, lament the fact that they showed up. But, yeah, with Griffon, it was a boss battle, and you had to kill him 3 times. And it was terrible each and every time. But, let's see here. And then there's Nightmare, that big thing that you saw that I summoned. Nightmare was also a boss in the first game that you had to fight 3 times. Except its design was, of course, like a lot different. It was kind of like this weird giant slime that just kind of crept along the floor, and it had like bits and pieces of skeleton in it. It was in like weird demonic metal. It looked super gnarly. And, oh, what a pretty mural on that wall. Sure would be a shame if somebody, summoned a demon from it. Anyway, but, I love how, like, in certain areas, if you summon Nightmare, it can open up new paths. So, you know. And a lot of the times, those paths have secrets behind them. And I'll be trying to get some of those, or at the very least, like, showcasing them. Alright, so, what I was saying about Nightmare, like, it was this, like, amorphous blob, and, like, anytime you had to fight it, there were no lights. And you had to turn the lights on in order to make it, like, solidify into this weird, sort of, it just looked like a hunk of armor. Not like a typical, like, human armor, just kind of a weird machine, almost. Made up of that bits of demonic metal that was inside of it. And oh my god, it would fuck you up if you weren't careful. In fact, it fucked me up so much, and I was trying to be careful sometimes. That thing is just terrible, and I hated it. Oh, I was about to conduct orchestra. That's the taunt that was about to happen, and I was going to be excited about it. But then y'all had to go be assholes about it. Die. But, ouch. But yeah. So, Nightmare was a fuck of a boss in the first game. You'll see, and I will probably die several times to that bitch, because oh my god. The first game was incredibly difficult. Because like in 2001, you know, it was like, At the time, I guess, the first Devil May Cry was directed by, God, I almost said Hideaki Utsuno, and I was like, nope, he wasn't here until 3, but, Hideki Kamiya, that's who it was, Hideki Kamiya, which, he also had a hand in the Resident Evil games, and Devil May Cry, the first game, originally started out as Resident Evil 4, which is why a lot of people say it's, like, reminiscent of the early Resident Evil games, because originally it was going to be a Resident Evil game. But, it's hard as fuck. And Hideki Kamiya also, fun fact, had a hand in Okami and Bayonetta. A couple of other, games that a lot of people like. I had an itch in my eye and I had to stop. But, what was I saying about the first game? Oh yeah, it was hard because it didn't have checkpoints, kind of. Like, there are gold orbs now, but in the first game you didn't have gold orbs, you had yellow orbs. Which what that did is, if you died, you could revive, but you would revive in the room outside of where you died. So like, if you got the boss down to like 1 health, but then the boss killed you, you had to start that boss fight all over again. And that's if you had any yellow orbs. If you didn't, what would happen is, you had to start from your last manual save point. So you would have to, let's say you died in the middle of like, after every mission it gave you the option to save, and you saved after every mission. Say you're doing mission like 7 or something, and you died, and your last save was at the end of mission 6, and then you died during mission 7 for whatever fucking reason. You had to start mission 7 all over again, which meant it really, really sucked whenever I got to, gosh, I forgot what mission it was, 16, 17, the mission title was Parted Memento. Oh my fucking god. Hold on, I don't remember. Was it actually Parted Memento? I think it might have been. But it was, whichever one had the last Nello Angelo boss fight. I was trying to beat the game on hard mode, and I can't do it because of that third Nello Angelo boss fight. He kept whipping my ass. I was like, I can't do nothing about it either. Because, like, I kept running out of yellow orbs, and so, like, I couldn't revive, and I would just have to do the entire mission over again, so I had to go through, like, 6 or 7 minutes of bullshit before getting to Nello Angelo, and then dying, like, 4 times in a row, and then having to do it again, and again, and again, and again. So, I never beat Devil May Cry on hard mode, or not the original Devil May Cry, I never beat it on hard mode. But God, I want to so bad, I'm not good enough to do it. One day, though, I might try another go after I record it for the channel, because the way the difficulties work in the original, like, Devil May Cry is you would it would start, like, on normal. If you died a certain amount of times, or, like, once you got to a certain mission, it would be like, okay, you can select easy mode if you want to. And so you could do easy mode, but if you stayed on normal, once you beat normal, after you beat the game, like, you finish mission 23, and then it would give you the option to play it again, except this time in hard mode. And so, you know, if you did that, well, you're kind of locked into hard mode. You can't change. Alright, let's go here. What is the secret mission? Okay, so this one is, easy, because I may or may not have already bought the speed upgrade that I wasn't supposed to have yet. But that's fine, because it's helpful. I feel like a lot of these secret missions you're not really supposed to do on your first try anyway. Like, I feel like a lot of these you're supposed to come back for them later on. See, like, I have this ability, which normally I wouldn't have access to at this point. I would have to wait till the end of this mission. Oh no, I missed one. Come here. You can do this without that speed upgrade, it's just you would be cutting it incredibly close. I know, because I did it without the speed upgrade twice. Alright, and I hadn't done this the first time I'd recorded it, because I took a wrong turn, and I got really, really lost, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But I got it now, so... Oh, and I got a full blue orb. Nice. Also, it's gonna be really weird for y'all, I'm sure, to see me, like, with this much health and Devil Trigger, and then go into the next episode, episode 5, and then be like, whoa, Wow, you did not have this much health or a double trigger. But you know, sometimes technology can be a fuck. Alright, let's continue onwards. Break it. Oh shit, I'm going the wrong way. I like saw the rubble and I was like, hold on. I've been here already. Or more specifically, Nightmare's been there already. Ow! Hello? That's rude. Bitch. Also, I find it intriguing, at the very least, that they would have, just like a random comment about V's familiars, is that they would have his familiars be based on 2 of the Devil May Cry 1 bosses and Shadow, which is not a boss. However, there are multiple bosses in that game. They could have had... I mean, Nello Angelo is more humanoid, so I don't think they would have gone with him, obviously. But they could have also used Phantom, which was a giant magma fucking spider. Ooh, he was something else. But I do like that they used Shadow instead, because now that I'm, like, I find it strange that instead of using all bosses, they use 2 bosses and a common enemy. But Shadow would have fit the bill a little better, because see, Shadow, you know, it's supposed to be able to move kind of fast, and Phantom could only move like really slow. He was relatively easy to avoid if you knew what you were doing, or if you just were watching for what he was doing. Alright, yeah, I came from here, so we're gonna go this way. Hello. Okay. Y'all want some Nightmare? And like, if you look at Nightmare's design, you can kind of see he has a weird backbone. The backbone looks like it's made of the stuff that was inside of the inside of the original Nightmare, like the weird demonic metal garbage. Whoops. Hi, please hit that. V, you better kill it. Alright, let's taunt. Oh, nice, the slow clap taunt. Oh, smoking sexy style. Alright. Oh, whoop, get out of the way. V, that's not getting out of the way. That's getting knocked out of the way because you got your ass kicked. Alright, I'm gonna let those 2 do what they want. Alright, oh right, I forgot to tutorialize that kind of. So, he can summon Nightmare using the Devil Trigger gauge, but there's also a thing he can do that's called Devil Trigger, which, that's mainly just a skill that only Dante can use in this game. But, what V's Devil Trigger does is, it uses up 1 bar of DT.
I wonder if I can reach that woman.
It uses up 1 bar of DT, and it basically, normally you would have to tell Shadow and Griffon what to do, but if you hold down the DT button, and then hit whichever button uses their attacks, it will give them autonomy.
I'm at.
Yeah. Keep your panties on. I see ya already. Be right there.
Like, it'll let them do whatever they want to do. Like, they'll be controlled by the AI temporarily. God, Nico. Almost crushed the poor man. Jesus. But, yeah, it just kind of gives them free reign of what they want to do. In exchange for like a bar of Devil Trigger gauge, and you can expend more bars of Devil Trigger gauge to allow them to continue what they were doing. Like, hold on, let's see if I can do it outside of battle. Yeah, like you see the sort of purple glow over their icons. Once that purple glow, it's a timer for how long that they'll continue to act on their own. Once that timer runs out, you have to assume direct control of them again, or else they won't do anything. So, like, it's kind of strategic. What I would do mostly is... You know what? You know what? Let's, no, let's not. Let's not be rash here. Let's upgrade both of their, vigor. So that they can have a little bit more survivability. I was gonna say something, totally forgot what it was, so never mind, I guess. It was about the familiars. God damn it. Oh yeah, what I usually do is I try to let Griffon do what he wants. Because, like, with Shadow, I pretty much have a grasp on, like, his combos and, like, how to do that. Like, how to do all of his moves. But with Griffon, I don't.
If you're done, get moving. I'm gonna have a smoke and then head out.
I'm trying my own business. Alright? Calm down, Nico.
Needhog. I never liked this guy.
You pest. I know you.
Dumb as a box of rocks. Let's not even mess with this guy, V. He can't even leave the Qliphoth anyway. Just a Qliphoth parasite.
Did you insult me?
Uh-oh.
You insult me.
I think he hurt me. And he's angry!
Not in this lifetime. As the air to a bird, or the sea to a fish, so is contempt to the contemptible.
I'm not sure why that's relevant, but I love hearing V quote poetry, and it's solely because I love his voice so much. But, God, they picked a good voice actor for this one. But, let's see here. I used to know which Blake poem that was from. Like, I think it's from Proverbs of Hell, actually. I could be wrong, but I think it was from Proverbs of Hell. But, let's see. Oh, right, I was gonna give some history about, or not history, mythology behind, Nidhogg. So, I don't know too terribly much. I investigated, Nidhogg because there is a game for the PS4, and it's on Steam too, I believe, called Nidhogg, which is like a sort of, it's like a, not really a party game, but like we used it as a party game. And it's just kind of a silly little game, but, it sounds like is Nidhogg like an actual thing? And yes, in I believe it's Norse mythology, the Nidhogg was a parasite, or it was a worm specifically, a parasitic worm that fed on the roots of the world tree, the Yggdrasil, I think is how you pronounce that. Which I believe the new God of War kind of had like a thing with about the world tree. I don't know because I didn't watch anyone play it. But I think I heard briefly about the World Tree and like the Yggdrasil, you know. But yeah, this game brings a bunch of, it's like a mishmash of mythology, because like we have William Blake, who had his own sort of like bastardization of Christianity sort of mythology, and Urizen was he's supposed to be kind of like a deity of justice, kind of. Like, you know, the ultimate sort of deity. But, so, you know, to have the big bad villain in this game called Urizen is kind of interesting subversion of that. And then, you know, we have the Nidhogg here, which is Norse, and not, like, Blake mythology, it's Norse. I think there might have been some other weird mythology stuff, but I'd have to... God, I love whenever the animation does weird shit like that. I'm just gonna sit here and taunt you. Oh my god, I jumped up to triple S like immediately doing that. Hell, I might get a better score than I did last time. Who knows? Die. Please die. Ow! That's not you dying, that's me dying. That's not what I wanted. Ouch. Yeah, I'm not very, I'm not a huge mythology buff, but I do know bits and pieces of things. Oof, oh gosh. I'm amazed now that, oh, okay. Never mind. I was about to be like, wow, haha, I'm amazed none of that hit me, and then lo and behold, I got fucking hit. Alright, you two, do what you want. I believe this Nidhogg's almost dead anyway. Oh, it is. Let's go.
The cut worm forgives the plow. What do you say?
Okay, alright, that's not good at all. That's not good. Well, hey, wait, where are you going? Are you running away? That's not a good sign.
I'm afraid then that's a little bit more than I can take on right now.
Big oof. God, that thing is huge and intimidating. Oh, let's see here. In S rank. I did do better than I did last time. Nice. What sort of bonuses did I get? I don't know what any of this means, but I like looking at it. Nice. Alright, so thank you so much for joining me this episode, and which hopefully didn't have any problems this time. And I'll see you next time.